Okay. So far, flawless intro here.
So far.
So far, so far. Hey, this is Dean Baker, and welcome to yet another edition of Modern Day Thrive, um, the show that tells you why it's important to be a millionaire. and
Or try to be.
well, it's pretty important.
Yes.
Ever so every day, why it's important. So, as always, with me in the studio, George Weber. Hey, George.
Hello, hello. How are you
And,
today?
and good. I guess this episode is brought to you by Coca-Cola, fine makers of sugared water. No, just kidding, just kidding. Well, look at that. They got a little recycle me on there. Like
Oh, yeah.
you really have to ask to
Yeah.
recycle.
Some people don't.
It's my bottled water got a recycle thing. There is a California cash refund here, so we're going to talk about that too in a minute.
All right.
No, anyway, so Modern Day Thrive. This is the show that explains why it's important to be a millionaire, why it's important to have side hustles, side gigs, side money, multiple streams of income. What else can we talk? That have we talked about?
We're actually going to get to that at some
you
point,
know-
the millionaire part, because there's some interesting content out there that tells you, what it's like to retire without that kind of money.
Right.
So it actually is important to keep it in the back of your head.
Well, it's not much different than now. You get up,
True.
you go to work, punch a time clock, and So, and that's what part of what we do is. And good thing I have my phone. I can plug the phone in case you want to take phone calls. For those of you,
You got to put the phone number first.
yeah, I will, but I also want to plug it in just in case.
Yeah.
The callers are just lining up right now. So, just in case, we are going to put.
If you do, it'd be a call from Ron. By accident.
Where the hell is the phone number here? Was it up top?
Up top, I think here it was.
I might have to redo it for something. There it is.
Hey, look at
Hey, there it is. Oh, look at that. On top of that, we're going to drop our little overlay in. Where is that overlay? There it is. Boom. Oh, look at that. Modern Day Thrive. Isn't that a wonderful thing here? So, yes, that is a live phone number right to this phone here in our studio. If you're interested in talking to us about any of those topics I mentioned, side hustle, small business, large business, side gigs, passive income, cryptocurrency. I'm having a good day for that. So
we'll come up eventually.
Cryptocurrency. I'll say it again. Cryptocurrency. And any of the other things. If you have a thing you want to share with our audience, how to make some extra money, how to make some, please phone it in, call it in, text us in. We have a comments section. So if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, chat away. We'd love to hear from you, or just call in. I'm also going to put together an invite here. So let me copy this to the clipboard. Boom, it's copied. And guess what? I'm going to put it out in the comment section. And if you want to use it and
go for it.
And join us here in the studio. I'm putting it out there. Check the chats. Copy and paste that little chat there. You can actually use that link to call us with your cell phone or your laptop, or and join us live here in the studio.
Absolutely.
So yes, we'd love to talk to you. So on that note, it's been a hell of a week. Has it? I don't know. The week seemed to go by fast.
Well, I took a couple of days off because I was getting some work done at home, and it was a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
Nothing got done. Actually, I won't say that. The dumpster did show up as I was leaving.
Yeah. Can you have that sent to my house? Because I have a lot of, I have a kind of a side yard full of crap that needs to get gone.
Yeah. I'm going to ask them if I can use it for a couple other things, because I do have some things I'd love to get rid of. Yeah. So,
what are they going to do? Put roofing in there? They're redoing your roof. So
And it's
Go
wood,
ahead,
so
go ahead, fill it up. It's it's on them. They're not charging you for the how much they fill it.
I
They're
don't think they are.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, well, just fill it,
Yeah.
throw some stuff in there, empty it out, empty the house out. Uh, so yeah, hell of a week. So you had appointments that weren't kept by the people
Well,
making you take the time
I
off.
mean, it's summer and it's a roof,
Yeah.
so the dumpster was supposed to be there 2 days ago, first thing in the morning. Well, it didn't show up. About noon, I started making emails and said, "What's going on? It'd be nice to know where we're at."
Right.
They're like, "Well, the dumpster got delayed and it's going to be there tonight." Well, it wasn't there tonight, and it wasn't there in the morning.
Oh,
So I could have worked both these days, and then tomorrow I'm just going to go in. I'm like, you know what? I said I'm going to go in.
Okay.
Because it's at this point I'm like, whatever. I don't know if they're even going to get it done until starting weekend because the rain's been so bad, and I think it's supposed to let up.
Right.
So I guess that's going to be a determining factor. So I should have thought about that. I did get some more work done in my kitchen, so it wasn't like total waste, but I didn't. I was hoping to have a new roof soon.
Oh well,
So.
it's good to hope for things. Don't lose your hope.
Well, because it's holding up my solar.
Well, it's
we're just right behind it.
It's supposed to hold up your solar.
Yeah, literally holding it up.
So
yeah, it's coming. It's going to get there soon. Like I say, I'm being patient. It was funny because they weren't really communicating with me, which was kind of making me angry. And then like 2 minutes later, I get the email from the company going, "Hey, the company would like to know if you'd like to give them a review." And I'm going, "Really? Do you really want me to fill this out right now?" Probably not. So I held off because I'm going to give them an honest review when we're done because they've done some good things for me, but communication's a big thing with me.
Right.
I just want to know, right, wrong, or indifferent, good or bad. I don't care. I just don't like to have to call you and ask something they should tell me.
Your cable guy is going to say, yes, your cable will be installed sometime between noon and never.
Well, I'm good with that kind of at least a window. If they give you a window, it's when they give you the window and the window passes and they don't have the courtesy to call you and say, "Hey, I'm running late," or "I can't make it."
Right.
At least tell me.
You'll know when I show up.
Yeah, that's kind of how that works.
So in business, I guess when you get a negative Google rate, how often do you use Google to rate, or to check the ratings of companies that you're attempting to hire?
I kind of look, but it's one of those grain of salt type of things because some people are just salty. I'm not trying to be salty about this, but at the same time, if you talk to them 3 or 4 times and say, "Hey, communication's a problem. Can we get on the same page?" And then they do it 2 and 3 times more. Then I go, that's kind of different than, "Oh, yeah, I really had one scenario. I was in the hospital,
but that's
twice. I can see."
That's twice this year because you had some other kitchen work.
Yeah, I had some other work done, and they
were
not
invisible.
Communicating.
So is it the construction companies as any? Is it the is there like?
I think it's the multiple leg piece. This person's really handling the whole job, but he has a specific contractor that has his own,
there's probably
own
a
drum.
Sales guy who's really supposed to be holding the client's hand and going,
"That's what I think."
"Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What can I do for you? Are you okay? Is everything happening at the rate?" Instead, they're just kind of like line them up, knock them down whenever the hell you can get to them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it seems like it's a trait for that industry. Well, it seems like it's a trait. If it's happened at 2 different corners of that industry, and it seems to be a pattern, then there's a reason why companies go belly up, and that's one of them. Just having a really crappy customer service record.
Yeah, you lose a lot of people.
And it just takes a negative review, and all of a sudden you go, there are companies that live and die by their Google reviews.
Oh, sure.
Or before that, it was the Better Business Bureau.
Yeah.
And God forbid you get a negative review on
or Yelp.
something. And I've posted, I think I mentioned this on the show. I posted I posted a negative review over a piece of equipment I bought that came to me and it didn't work. It was
Yeah.
broken. So I basically just said the truth. I wasn't upset.
Mm-hmm.
I said, got it. It was broke. Send it back.
Mm-hmm.
No, oh my God, I lost time and effort and energy and my dog is upset now and my wife left me and all this other stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not going to really bleed over this thing.
Sure.
I'm just saying, hey, the great, but on the upside of things, Amazon is wonderful because
Mhm.
if
They
you're a
always take it back.
Prime member, they just take it back.
Mhm.
And I returned something today that I ordered like a week ago, and I tried it.
Not
Didn't
as
work the way
advertised.
not as advertised,
Yeah.
and guess what? It went back, and they gave me the money back, and that's the nature of their business.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really Amazon can't really have a negative because they've been thriving
Mm-hmm.
and tremendously over the last, but
Sure.
all of a sudden you go, here, Joe's company, this company Joe runs, Joe's house repairs,
Joe's Hat Shack.
and he failed to show up 2 days in a row, telling me I took 2 days work off. And be honest, don't be bitter and mean and angry and
Yeah.
stomping feet,
Just be
but
honest.
just be honest and say this is what it is. Now, I posted a negative return. I'm actually wondering, this latest thing I'm returning
Mm-hmm.
was something that didn't work as advertised. So I
Yeah.
just posted didn't work as advertised. And I've had Amazon companies, actually ask me to remove my negative return. And then they've actually offered me cash,
Wow.
meaning we'll give you a $10. And literally it was like a $20 item or something like
Yeah.
that. They offered me 10,
They
and
obviously
I
have more
ignored them.
products.
I ignored them maybe because I was busy. And then 2 days went by. They came to me with another one. Then they upped it up $5. So I'm gonna offer you $15 if you remove that. I'm like, well, what service am I doing here?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Um,
I'm only benefiting you,
I
not
think
everyone
it
else.
probably was just that it showed up broke. It didn't work
Mm-hmm.
as of working poorly. Working poorly, like this item that I ordered
Sure. Yeah.
last week, works very
Yeah.
poorly.
Two different
And I
things.
would absolutely say, do not buy this
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is a bad piece of gear.
Sure.
And so now,
Well, it's supposed to be a fair system. That's what it's supposed to be for.
right. So
Yeah.
now you say worked poorly or just shows up broke. Shows up broke just means it got damaged in shipping,
Sure. Yeah.
likely.
Yeah.
And but works very badly.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole nother animal. So
Sure.
so I'm actually wondering if this thing that works very badly
Mm-hmm.
that I returned is if they're going to, if they're going to reach out to me and say,
Offer you cash.
we would like you to remove that negative thing and we will offer you cash. And they offered that last product that they offered me 3 different times. They got up to like $20-$25. And I said, sure, I'll take it. Yeah, you're gonna pay me. You're gonna pay me
for something that came broke.
for me to just say whoopsies,
Yeah.
and yes, they did. I took the money.
Huh.
I'm like, good, good for both of us.
Yeah.
You want to pay me some hush money? That's fine.
Yeah.
But it's always better if they do that to ignore the first couple of attempts because clearly they want to.
Yeah.
And then you have to actually be a little resistant.
It must
and
be worth
work
a
'em
lot more
little.
than that gold that,
Just
the-
every little
yeah.
negative response. So I've known other companies, people that run their companies, and they live and die by the reviews.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they can't stand
Especially an online store.
Online or even certain call centers.
Mm-hmm.
I knew somebody who worked at a cruise agency, and that gentleman, because they have so many online referral systems
Mm-hmm.
that one bad review can knock you down a notch, and before you know it, you're trying to get back up. And if you're if you want to be that company that
commission salesperson too,
one really 100%, you want to have that perfect rating.
Yeah.
I would say Amazon for me has a perfect rating. Everything I ordered showed up as expected.
Yeah.
Some things showed up early. They've always returned items.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I complain? I can't complain about a specific product.
And they're pretty honest about their shipping too. I
You
mean,
know, I can't complain about a specific product. I can't complain about the shipping because unless it's Prime and they say it'll be there tomorrow,
yeah,
likely they're
mm,
gonna be there
it's
tomorrow.
there tomorrow.
And
Yeah,
then usually the things that happen are the third party incidences where
yeah.
the porch pirates.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
That's
funny,
funny.
there was a package left in front of my neighbor's door here on John Young. And there was a package there and the company was locked. And I was like, I walked right by it going, yep, that's gonna be stolen here
Yeah,
because this is a street. This is, this is a business that if the business is locked, what are they gonna do? They have to leave it.
yeah.
They have to leave it. They do not care
No,
because they can
it's not their
leave it.
policy. I mean,
And what they do is they take a picture of it
yep,
sitting right in front of your door.
it
And,
was
and
there.
we put it there. And if you don't want to be open when we get here,
Yeah.
then guess what?
Your problem.
Your
not
problem,
mine.
not mine. So that's why Amazon leaves it there. And of course, they probably have insurance for
that's the
the
policy.
replacement and things like that. So,
Sure.
hey, so your thing with not being notified when the construction guys are going to show up
Sure,
or
yeah,
not
yeah.
is a big deal.
Oh, I think so. Well, I was told the night before
costs
when they
you
were coming.
That costs you one of your holiday pay. You
Yep.
know? So I'd be fuming over that. And
Yeah, I'm
not
not
that I
happy.
want you to go stomp out, and
No, I'm not happy about it, but at the same time, I'm getting the work done I need.
well, all right.
But I could have saved it for another time. I mean, I have other things I do need to do this year. So
Have we checked anything on the stream? Has everything been going
Yeah.
good?
I was want to check, but I can check in.
Yeah.
Your sound's off.
My sound is off.
What are we watching?
I know. I'm trying. I'm turning on a playback kind of thing here.
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, I think everything's fine. I'll check it real quick. We'll keep talking.
yeah. All right. Well, you check sound
We'll check sound.
because we do have a comment here. Hang on.
Really?
Oh
That's
no,
you.
that was my comment. That was all right. Damn. All right.
Don't get excited.
Too late. I am not hearing any sound.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah. Coming through? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Pause for that little brief moment of insanity.
Just never know these days.
We second guess. So
All right. So that's been my fun. So
yeah. Well,
but should be soon.
other than some nasty weather
Yes.
last couple days.
It's been a little
Um
wet.
yeah, what is going on here?
Was today a hot dog day? I mean, did you get rain over here?
Yeah, it was pouring rain this morning. She didn't even show up.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have either.
And, yep, she didn't even show.
I don't think I would have either.
What is going on?
I
with
don't
this
know what that is.
computer?
It'll go away
It's like-
eventually.
You think? WebEx. No, it's not WebEx. Having trouble? Great. No, looks like I might have lost internet. Oh, there we go.
All right.
Okay. Back to business.
Back
We should
to the
have
real
commercial breaks
world.
for that. Hold please. Anyway, man, just
So yeah,
technology. So well, let's see.
Wanna-
When we left our viewers last week, we were discussing Parkinson's law.
yes,
And we really don't want to go back to that, I guess.
I would say no. But if you didn't catch it, I think it was a good segment. So you guys should
Well,
go back and watch last week's episode if you didn't.
What didn't we talk about? Was it what is this happening?
What are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know if the internet's the Wi-Fi, the whatnot.
Something's going wacky.
Right.
So
the
where
debt
did we
survival
leave
or the
off?
multiple streams of income.
You'd have to click on it real quick and let me see.
I'll have to click on it real quick. Dividend income, life insurance, side hustle. That's an
What?
old one.
I mean,
man.
that's kind of digs into some content we've created. We're going to kind of expand out on the
That's
dividend
old.
income, but that is old. Yes.
Yeah.
Passive
Passive income scenarios. I don't think we talked about.
I think
a lot
that
of
was
this.
it. That was the one that we were.
I've
talking
got
about.
some things to kind of add to that since
Sure.
We didn't even talk to this. So last week we were going through a bunch of things, and of course we never really made it. I think the last time when we spoke were best case scenarios.
Yeah.
Living paycheck to paycheck. You have no extra money. You'll probably never retire, so don't retire. Just like what you do.
Yeah.
you know uh learn to live on what you have and don't want too many things. Now after that I kind of jumped on I started jumping on more passive income things,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Mm-hmm.
gotta tell you, I just did a little search. People think, well, it's
Mm-hmm.
Uber food,
Sure. Yeah.
DoorDash. They think that these are the only things, and there are so many other things out there that I would love to be able to kind of jump to. I'm gonna kind of reach out, and hopefully, it's in my bookmarks here. Oops, hang on. Jumping out into the bookmarks,
We'll share it here
and
in just a second if it's here.
yeah,
No,
it's
last time it was.
here. It's okay. So, all right. So let me do a little screen sharing here. This is going to be fun. Or for oops, share screen. So let's go to
Chrome tab. Probably.
probably Chrome tab. All right, let's start with this one now. I'm looking at other passive streams,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, you look around your house and you go, "Man, I got a lot of crap." And if the crap is in good shape, you can actually turn your everything sitting around, anything that isn't nailed down, and even some things that are nailed down, you could actually rent it. There's a rental community. Sometimes it's on an app like this, Idle. I believe it's iPhone app,
Yeah, it
and
does
you
look
can
like that.
rent anything. Meaning, like if you have just bought a generator in your
Mm-hmm.
house, that you use whenever you throw in the garage and it works, and you want to rent it, there are ways to make money. Now, I use another thing called I use an app for my business called ShareGrid, and ShareGrid is related to the business that I'm in, which is video production. And ShareGrid is basically a community of
It's not going to show up. You shared the
it's
other
it's
tab.
not, but I'm gonna find something first, and then I'm gonna go. Um, I'm gonna hit stop screen, and I'm going to let me pop that out. Come back to punch up the Y, just so we've got something else to hold, please. Uh, Share screen. Let's go up in. Let's go up in where's my share grid?
I
Oh, there it
it's
is.
the
The last
top
thing.
one.
It's
Yeah, there
this
you go.
one. Share. So so here we have share grid. Okay, share grid is and you and I were messing around with this the other night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You just didn't know what site I was or what we were doing, but
Mm-hmm.
you can list cameras and microphones and lighting and theatrical stuff like a haze machine or a fog machine, audio recording equipment, cameras and drones, and all these other things you can list, and actually people will rent. Now, I've actually made money doing this.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I've made money doing this. I've made not lots, not thousands. I've made hundreds.
Nice. Right. It's a
In a
start.
year, and that's with having a certain handful of gear. If you collect cameras and lenses, and you've got a lot of extras laying around, list them, and people. Now this shows L.A. searched in Los Angeles, but there's a lot of Orlando users on this group.
Sure.
So another one is I wonder if it'll keep the same if I go
I think it will. I think it shares the tab.
peerspace.com. So if I just really maybe peer I typed it in wrong.
Type in pair.
PEERSBACE
You're
dot
lucky something
com.
crazy didn't
So
come up.
let's yeah. All right, Peerspace. Now Peerspace is like Uber, not Uber, I'm sorry, like Airbnb.
Uh-huh.
Only let's say you have an office, or
Mm-hmm.
you own an office building
Mm-hmm.
and it's half empty.
Gotcha.
You could actually set it up to make it rentable space.
Kind of like
Or if you have
this.
a wedding space, a perfect space people could get married.
Yeah.
Say you have a business, but you have a whole floor of your business that's empty,
Yeah.
and you want to make use out of it. You can list it for photo shoots, for video production shoots, for parties, for weddings, for lots of things.
Pretty much anything that needs that type of
They
space.
basically, it's all app driven, and what you can do is you can pick what you want and when you want it, and you can go ahead and look. And I'll just click on a possible party venues near me. Let's type in 32804, which is in Orlando, Florida. Boom, hit search. Now, I have not used this, but others have. Uh, Rustic front house event space. Let's take a
Hey.
look at that. Now, all of a
A
sudden,
little party.
make sure it's happening up
Ooh,
on the screen.
$3.75 an hour.
Oh, that popped up in a different. Yeah, that actually opened up in a different page. So, all right. So, yeah, and people get real deal. You can go in and go, okay, there's an MMA gym. We might want to look at that for that other project we're working on.
Oh yeah.
And there's actual space that you can rent, and people can list. And there's look at all the users just in Central Florida. There's tons of
Wow.
opportunities, potential. So if you have space, you get it listed through here. And I have
Sure.
some clients that are just sitting on empty space.
Yeah.
That they won't, maybe they just need to do it.
Why
need
not be
to
in a
list it.
platform that they can, be
Right.
seen at least?
So, what was another one here?
You think that some of them just don't want to be found though?
Maybe that's it. You know what? It means you got to work a little harder for what you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. It's a rent anything. Now, obviously, it's app driven. Now, I got to tell you, utilize, okay, rent anything from your camper van to a bicycle. Looks like an adorable dog will rent for $10 a day.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know how accurate that is, but you want to rent a kayak, a motorcycle, some camping gear, some. I got to make sure that's.
I tell you, a lot of
actually coming through.
people.
Yes, it is coming through.
Probably have a lot of this stuff laying around too, and never thought about doing that.
Okay, now the thing with utilize. I started clicking through, and everything is through Provo, Utah right now. So it looks like the app started in Provo, but the thing about these apps is once people see it and they go, oh, that's kind of cool, then all it takes is a bunch of people to start listing it. So if I started listing this in Orlando for stuff that I have, then guess what? People eventually might catch on.
They put you on the map.
And there's a lawnmower I could rent, a compressor that I could rent, forearm forklift lifting. People, you've probably got a garage full of stuff that you could rent.
Harry Potter costume.
Sure. Why not? Let your stuff work for you. Might as well get some rental money out of some of the stuff that we're just kind of parking, sitting around. So
even bikes are big rentals.
Oh, there's a.
What was that other site?
Let me show you. I got another one here. Bicycles. If you're real proud of your bike and you want to share the love of your bicycle with the rest.
Some people got 3 or 4 bikes just sitting in the garage.
With the rest of the world, you got a rides for rent. Spinster, I think it's called. Make sure that's going out to the proper StreamYard. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Send me the code. No, we're not going to do that, but we are going to look at all these bicycle rental. I mean, you don't
think that's all the scooters downtown, do you?
No, it's not, because on the right it's here, and look at this. I mean, this is crazy how many people are renting out their bicycles in our country right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never heard of this, and yet
they must be doing something with it, otherwise they wouldn't do it.
Yeah, so we'll get back to Orlando and let it reset. I mean, this is everywhere. And then you come over here and you look and you go, okay, what is this? I don't think that's going to show up on StreamYard. So I can go in and it's $80. I don't know if that's a day, a week, whatever. Well, I can find out, but you're not going to see it. $7 an hour, $25 a day, $90 a week.
Okay.
So getting $100 for your bicycle, and some of those bicycles are like $800-900
Yeah, they
bicycles.
look
So
nice.
if you're gonna, so I
Especially
don't
those
know
one
if
with the big
people are
tires.
doing it, but I'm going. Damn, this is quite interesting. Here's
Even if you
a
rented it
here's
periodically.
an e-bike, and of course that's not going out into the world. But here's an e-bike. This e-bike rents for $8 an hour, 30 a day, 100 a week, and it's a nice e-bike.
Yeah,
That's probably a $1,500 e-bike.
probably. Yeah.
So all these things are like, this is crap that people have,
Sure.
and that's just I'm just basically scratching the
Surface.
surface. Yeah, thank you for that. I was like scratching. What am I scratching? I'm scratching the surface of what this is all about,
Sure.
and these apps are popping up every
Yeah.
single day, seems like in every corner of the planet. And once it becomes an app, then you can actually bring it, much like PeerSpace started in it wasn't even in Orlando, and
Hmm.
now if you go to PeerSpace
It's all
now,
over the place now.
it's yeah, ShareGrid was actually just LA.
Yeah. Okay.
When I started doing it, ShareGrid was just in LA, and there were just a few people in Orlando, which meant I was getting a lot of the rentals up front.
Sure. Sure.
And now and now it's just good to have what other people don't have but might
Yeah.
want,
Yeah.
or might oh, that sounds interesting, I want to try
Little
that. So
trinket
it
doors.
wouldn't be a bad thing to have something, so you really got to dig into your life, look around. Can I rent this? Can I rent this? Can I rent this? Of course I can rent this room.
I think you should
Which
put
I
your.
can.
I think you should
Go
put
figure.
your Videonics mixer on there.
My video mixer.
The Videonics one from the back.
Oh God, that old school thing. Yeah, that's
You
more
never
of a
know.
that was a movie prop last week, not a piece of production gear.
I remember that thing from back in the day.
Yeah,
That was around when me and you first met.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So,
I won't tell you when. That was
that's
a
a
long
whole
time ago.
nother story. So anyway, that's my time. I wanted to talk to you about these was it here multiples? No, it wasn't there. No. Passive income. So is this stuff, and start a podcast, start a membership website, write a book, self-publish.
Yes.
There's so much out there now. You can if you know something that other people don't know, you can be an online course teacher. That I not only teach production, I have started a podcast. I haven't started a member website. Websites are funny because you really gotta invest a lot
They
of
got to get out
energy,
there, or nobody's going to know about
and
them.
you got to find the right people to help
Yeah.
you with that. Write a book, self-publish. Yes, I'm actually looking, but yes, I am an online teacher. Invest in real estate. Well, I own a
piece of property.
a piece of property, or I'm and then rental income, rent your car, rent anything, rent Airbnb, your
Sure.
house. Um, all this stuff is passive income, and it could make the difference if you could join. If there are 10 different sites in 10 different corners of your life that might make you an extra $100 a month,
Sure. Then could start that way. It could get
then
bigger.
it could, and all you got to do is worry about how to get your whatever to other people that rent. So this is really important. And man, I started going through it, just started searching, and before you know it, there are car sites.
It's like a rabbit hole.
Is it Truly or something? There's a car where you can actually rent your car out to people. I don't have a really good, pretty new car.
I've heard people actually do using those type of sites, and they do work.
I saw in one location somebody had listed their like 1958 Chevy.
Oh wow!
I mean, this was a beautiful car.
Yeah, that thing wasn't
and I
$50
actually
a
saw
day.
it, and I'm like, no, it was, 300, 400, 500.
Yeah.
Or those 3-wheel cars. I think Polaris makes
one.
Yeah. And it's like 2 wheels up front, 1 in the back kind of thing. And you can rent one of those. And there are people that own their vehicles that just rent them out,
Well, something like that. It's probably like you only use it every so often. It's probably not your primary vehicle. Right. So it would be smart to do that at that point. Not like me. I'm on a
This
bike primarily.
so the passive. I've been really heavily focusing on these passive stream
Sure.
income stream. I don't know how passive. It's not really passive because
Yeah, you got to meet somebody unless you have a way to
you're
deliver.
yeah.
If you had a
It's not.
lockbox,
It's
maybe.
passive. Your marketing is passive
Sure.
because once you list it, you're waiting. You're just sitting
Hmm.
around waiting,
Yeah, yeah.
and your marketing is passive. It's fairly passive because you're not actively daily um, trying to run out and seek out business.
Sure. Sure.
You just put a bunch of things out there, and as the income hits, now you still have to, but even Airbnb, you have to clean your house afterwards,
Yeah,
or hire
or have a
someone,
service, yeah, that does it.
to
Sure.
do it for
And I
you.
think that's
So
what a lot of people do because there are a
uh,
lot of people
I
aren't
don't know
even in
about the
that
car
state.
thing. Obviously you have to park a car somewhere and let somebody just. They have a way where the app can unlock the car and
Oh
blah blah
wow,
blah. Yeah, there's this one site.
interesting.
I'll have to kind of do a search real quick. Um,
I never knew that, but yeah, that's kind of interesting.
car rental apps. Let's just see if it pops up real quick here. Turo,
Turo.
Turo.com,
Gotcha.
and it's a car sharing marketplace here. And I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna go back and share this one real quick. Share screen because I thought was kind of cool.
Hmm.
And where is it? Rent the perfect car, Turo marketplace. And basically,
And these guys handle insurance normally too, so it
and
kind of
yes,
takes that off
your
you.
insurance is also so you can
Still sucks if it
literally
comes
go
back
in,
damaged.
browse cars, and of course that didn't. So let's just see if I can get this page
Oh, it opened
over.
the.
I don't know. Oh no, I'm pretty sure now that.
Yeah, you're good.
Yep, I'm in there. All right, so yeah, there's a Tesla. You want to rent a Tesla, $269 a day.
Wow.
Maserati, ooh, nice.
$269 a day. That's probably
Chevy
like leasing.
Corvette, 135 a day for a vet.
Wow.
A Porsche Macan. I've never heard of a Macan.
I have never seen one either.
Lots of Teslas in here. I was looking the other day, and then the craziest thing was like a 50s car.
And then there's a Beetle.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, the Jeep.
Yeah.
Nice. $130 a day. If that's how accurate that is, and these are in Orlando right now. I'm actually searching Central Florida cars.
Nice.
So. I'm sure the devil's in the details here.
Yeah,
so
right.
If you want to rent a Tesla, we have a phone call.
Does it say spam likely?
I don't know. So, suspected spam.
Bring them on.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So, like Tesla Model 2017, 178 a day. I want to make sure that I'm getting there in the right place. Am I doing that? No, I'm not.
No, that opened up in another page.
Okay, so anyway, I could just kind of tell you if there's any fine print here. Distance included 900 miles. Must be 25 or older to book. Ratings, you got plenty of ratings here. More ratings, nice. And then, of course, there are delivery and pickup locations. I guess the pickup is free, so you can leave the car wherever you choose, and someone will come by, pick it up. And then there are certain drop-off locations where probably you can leave the key, and there's looks like mostly hotels.
Yeah.
Which would have a concierge, which I'm sure you can, or maybe there's a car rental place at the hotel. So
or a lockbox or something.
Lockboxes or whatnot. You just don't know. You find out soon enough, I suppose. But yeah. So find the So yeah, you can you don't have to you can pick a certain Maserati quadruport.
Nice. Only 104 a day.
Yeah, I don't know.
That doesn't seem right.
Well, let's look and see if it actually. You still have to be approved. Somebody can just kind of you have to pick the dates. Of course, you can black out dates if you say, nope, I'm going to go to Key West on this car tomorrow. And blah, blah. So, yeah, a minivan. Ooh, can't wait to get $37 a day.
Hey, if you go somewhere and you have a lot of
nice
people,
minivan, sure.
That's what you need.
Sure. Honda Pilot. I mean, some basic stuff. Ford Mustang. Ooh, like the Ford Mustang with the vintage stripes down the top. Audi S5. I mean, it's just out there, and it's just another thing that you can do if you've got an extra car floating around. It's a nice vehicle,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to get 30 to $100 a day. Why not? It's
Better than zero.
insured. Great thing about it is somebody wrecks it, the insurance should get you another one.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's I'm gonna leave it at that. And I've talked about this enough, but it is important, and you definitely want to make use of these passive streams. So I'm gonna flip the script over to George.
You have the control. So
I do. So tell me what you want me to put up.
let's bring we in one of our previous slides we were talking about dividend income, and I kind of did a breakout, which I think helps explain why it's so good. Bring that slide up there. So obviously, why is dividend
Why
income
don't you explain
important?
what dividend income is?
So yes, dividend income, obviously, for those of you who have not or do not own any stocks, and not every company does provide good dividends, but it's a payment based on a certain time frame. Sometimes it's a month, usually it's quarterly, sometimes it's yearly, and it will be based on how much you own. So if
Stock. So it's
stock, yeah, if
stock.
you own
You
like
own stock in a company.
McDonald's or Microsoft, Tesla, these type of
Apple.
companies, yeah,
You
they provide money back because you're providing them liquidity of
so
money
there's
to
value.
operate.
The stock will go up and down
Sure.
based on the market, and
Correct.
but then there's also dividends that
Yep.
you can get.
And
How much stock do you need to own before you get it based on one share or even part of a
actually
share?
you can do partial, and that's something of recent that they kind of and I think it was when they were the popularity kind of dipped down. They were like, well, how do we keep more people in the stock market?
Right.
And so they have what's called fractional shares. So I could put $5 on a share, or buy $5 of the company, that their stock could be $86,
Nice.
and it'll just buy you a piece of it. And then you have to own it by a certain time in order to get paid out when they pay dividends.
Right.
But I would get a small piece of that. Now it's going to be very small if you're only buying $5. But
Okay, well, one share of Apple is 150 currently. One is $154.
yeah,
Currently.
look at Amazon. Well, Amazon doesn't pay dividends, but
Oh, they don't?
No, they do not. It's AMZN, but they're like in the 1,500. No, I'm sorry, they've gone up.
So Amazon
3,000.
shares up to 30, almost $3,500.
But people buy Amazon for growth.
Right.
Their speculation is, I'm going to buy Amazon because
That
Amazon's
stock's
going to
gonna
continue
go
to
up,
grow,
yeah.
and that's how you make money with the
As long
company
as
like
we
that.
can keep a pandemic going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally like dividends because as long as it's sitting, you're earning some kind of dividends, and hopefully you're
Okay.
reinvesting your dividends. So
Okay.
the nice thing about it is consistent income. I mean, you do have some cases. Ford is a good example that stop paying dividends when they shut down their plants to become, the production facilities for these incubators when they were making them. They haven't kicked back in paying dividends yet.
Okay. Based on a Google, let's go to Forbes. Let's see if they do anything here. It's dividends. I don't want to read a lot.
Yeah,
but,
no, you get
as
these
dividends get cut, ETF offers steady 7% annual distribution rates.
7% is not bad. But it all depends. I mean, if you own 1,000 shares,
I was hoping for something a little bit more.
Your 7% is going to do you well.
Right.
If you only own one share, it's not going to grow very fast. It's not going to look very attractive. And as we go through the slide before, I'll kind of demonstrate what makes sense. If you're going to go down that path, and all this is about when we're talking about being a millionaire. This is about building future income for when you want to retire.
Right.
Can you use it before then? Sure you can, but
I was hoping to find. I don't want to.
Oh, you'll find so many articles. This is
top
not
10
even
best
funny.
dividend stocks. Let's see if there anything pops up here. Anything we can kind of
Sure
pull from. 5 stock dividend profile. Man, everybody wants you in.
Yeah, a lot of
Once you
yeah,
get in, it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
they got you.
They're trying
Top
to
21
and they're trying to
stock
get you to read the article
picks.
so so the advertisement that comes up
Yeah,
on it pay for their page.
they're trapping you. They
Yeah.
want you in, and then they
Well, it
won't
gives you
let you go.
some stuff
Yeah,
there, but those,
doubtful,
mainstream. So,
doubtful.
dividend comes nice, and I've been doing this for years.
Yeah,
And I haven't really, um, I have been reinvesting, but very, very slowly.
yeah,
Um, because I have a lot of different things going on. But so consistent, show monthly earnings. I get about right now on my current profile about 30 a month,
yeah,
which is not retirement income.
yeah.
It's not really paying any bills. But as I'm about to start reinvesting it into more to increase it from because I get about 10 payments a month,
Right,
and these are monthly payments. Some of the ones I'm about to invest in are quarterly,
right.
but I'm going to invest in them in a fashion that's going to make it look monthly because
Oh.
of the way they pay out. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but
So like
Mhm.
any stock, there's risk.
Absolutely.
You know.
And
So,
I'm only telling you what I'm doing.
yeah,
This is not investment advice because everyone's DNA for investment is different.
yeah,
I wouldn't want someone to go out and go, "Oh man, this guy was talking about, so I'm going to go out and do that," and you have a bad situation. You want to do your research on your companies,
right.
and actually, we'll be talking about that here in a second. The type of companies I'm picking
Yeah,
are strong companies,
yeah.
and they're strong from a
But every
specific
company is
aspect.
strong until it's not.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I have
Every
some stocks on my current profile now that are not gone, but I can't put any more money into them because they won't let me.
oh,
They even
are
still
they
pay dividends.
plummeting?
No, it's really not the case. And I'm not really sure what's happened there.
They freeze activity
I
or
can
something
sell
like
them,
that? Yeah,
but I'm holding them for now because they still
yeah.
pay me some dividends, and I'm hoping they creep up enough over the profit where I bought them.
Uh-huh.
And it's not a bad thing to sell it at a loss
Right.
because you just write it off as a loss on your taxes. But I'd prefer to wait. If it's still benefiting me in some way,
Yeah.
I'll hold on to it for a little while.
All right. So
Um,
what else?
so yeah, what was that second one down there? Yeah, I mean it's um, so yeah, what type of portfolio would be needed? And this is where we're talking about. You just want to go out and pick any company,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of companies that pay dividends,
Right.
but they're not strong companies, and the dividend gets you into the company, and then all of a sudden they do fold.
Right.
So it's called dividend aristocrats, and that's a term based on, and this is actually a term based on Google.
Right.
It's an aristocrat, the company in the S&P 500 that not only consistently pays a dividend to shareholders, but annually increases the size of its payouts.
Oh.
And this is for years. This is not something that you don't just become an aristocrat. It's probably someone that's had like 25-year plus
Mm-hmm.
record of paying dividends.
Hmm.
So they've been through a lot of the thicks and the thins and the hard times.
Okay.
So they're good companies. But like anything, I mean, back in the day, was GE was was the company to be with.
Right.
They're not even listed on the stock exchange anymore.
Wow.
They still have a stock symbol,
Right.
but they pretty much have fallen out.
I think they're
you know.
just one of those floating ghost brands that
Yeah.
still exist on equipment that you can go
I
out
think
and
they still
buy.
do stuff,
But
but yeah,
but maybe a lot of their stuff
contracts
is branded
and
through other companies
Sure.
that just make products, and GE sticks there. I don't know. I don't.
I don't
But,
know the whole
but you
story,
can
but
imagine
it can
that,
happen. Yeah, they were big.
that can happen with a brand.
Sure.
Companies never
Yeah.
let a brand go
Yeah,
because they can always revive it.
sure.
Think of the word like Polaroid, or that was a big company back in the day, and now you only see Polaroid on some really odd, really cheap,
Yeah.
and stuff that's coming out of there. It's like you can buy a camcorder for $20. I'm like, really, a camcorder for
Yeah,
20
yeah.
bucks?
What's that really going to do for you?
Hanging on the shelf at Walmart, but they stick the name Polaroid on it, and and think companies that aren't really making what they made 20 years ago.
Sure. Well, it's probably something similar to an A actor that was back in the day that's no longer that.
Yeah.
They'll work for pennies. They could probably get the Polaroid name, and they'll say, "Hey, we'll pay you
but
a small amount," and they'll be like, "Okay,
they can
I'll take it."
brand out there. They can always
Mhm.
rent out their brand
Mhm.
to, you know, it's like, well, they need a brand. You
I bet
know,
there's a site for that.
this company in Thailand or something is making
Mhm.
something and it's electronic, and they
Mhm.
go, well, maybe we can do a deal with Polaroid, stick
Sure.
our name on it, and then people might just buy it
Because of
you
the
know,
name. Yeah.
because it's a name, not that Polaroid made it. It's just
Mhm.
And I'm not saying Polaroid is like that at all. I'm just
Just an example.
there's
Sure.
a lot of companies that probably just will never let go of their brand, and
Sure.
because
And rightfully so. They
you never
shouldn't.
know when something wants to come back and come back, or they have a need for it,
Sure.
and it so it's one of those things. Because
Well, if a company goes out of business, can someone pick up that name or no?
I think they can probably sell the brand before they
Yeah, if they were smart, they
go.
would do that. Yeah,
They
sure.
sell the
But if they
brand
didn't,
to
I'm curious if someone could pick
yeah,
that up and
companies
go.
buy brands all the
Yeah.
time. They just want it. They don't know what they'll do with it. They just want to make sure that
Well, a lot of times it's so they don't get in their way.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah. So that's the type of companies that I feel comfortable picking.
yeah, S&P 500
S&P
index.
500 index.
Shall we go to the next one?
Yes, we shall. So, and what are the benefits of building this way? So, and what I've chosen, and unfortunately the data is a little bit further down, but these are all companies that pay staggered dividends. So, and a lot of times it's a 3-month cycle.
Yeah.
So if they start in January, 3 months later they pay, then 3 months later, and then 3 months later.
So that's quarterly.
Quarterly.
Yeah.
And if they start in February, it's the same, and then March it's the same. So I'm picking companies across that spectrum, which basically guarantees me payments January, February, March,
Oh,
all the
right.
way throughout up till December. So so it's almost like guaranteeing yourself a payment every month.
And you said somewhere in the 7%, or is that
It varies.
Yeah.
It varies
So you
depending
can
on the company. Yeah.
say you put $100 on something. I'm just making the
Sure.
numbers
Sure.
easy. Your luckily might be a $7. If it's 7%,
Well,
you're
it's
getting
per share.
$7 per.
It's per share, not per dollar. So if a company is $154 a share, it is based on share. Yeah.
All right, but 7% of one share is
Yeah.
So it is dollar value.
That's a good question. I think it's
So
based off. They pay
is
their
it
dividends based off a
7%
share.
of the share?
Yeah, it's based on share. Yeah.
Still equates to a dollar value.
Yeah,
You just
just-
got to do more math,
Yeah.
So
Do the math.
if the share is $100 and
Yeah.
you own a share, then likely you might get 7% of that share, which would be, see how that worked?
Yeah,
I just made
that
that
works
work
out.
for me. So so 7% is
It'd be
still
nice
7%.
if it always worked that way, but it doesn't. But
Yeah, well,
it's the same scenario. Yeah,
I don't know. Let's try $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if it's the value, of the share or shares,
Mhm. I mean, it depends on how
7%.
you're building it. If you
Yeah.
have a decent amount of money laying around, it's a different scenario. Or if you're building it over time
Yeah.
in smaller increments.
Okay.
So
All right.
as it goes up as you go. So payment calendar.
Yeah, you want to hit that?
Yes. So, and this is kind of and this is kind of based similar to what I'm doing now. What I will be adding is 5 different companies that pay quarterly
Right.
across the spectrum of a month. Plus, I get 10 payments from monthly dividends I have. So I'll be getting 15 payments per month when I build it out all the way.
Huh.
Currently, I'm getting 10. So I mean, that's 15 a month over a year. That's 180. So
Okay, I'm not sure I'm following the math. $180?
no, 180. It
payments.
would be 180 payments
So
basically,
based on whatever payment you're getting,
based on whatever
180
the
of
dividend
them.
is per individual, which would be different per stock.
Great.
But it's a nice number.
Give me an idea of what a dividend could show up at your door.
$100,
$100, $10,
it
$5.
depends. I have one that's paying me around $10, but I own quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I have others that are paying me less than $1.
Yeah.
So it does range in spectrum.
Sure.
And then, as I build these up,
Yeah.
what I do is I've turned my dividend reinvestment off temporarily.
Yeah.
So all that dividend goes into the pool.
Yeah.
And then I will probably, once I build it out, I'll pick the one that's paying me the least amount and I'll increase that one.
Right.
And then work my way back up.
Okay.
To increase, the amount, because the other ones that are paying me more are already paying me a decent amount. So, once I build them up.
Click to the next one.
Yeah, sure. And these are just kind of like
Yeah.
quick numbers just to kind of illustrate, if you're looking for something like this and, to eventually possibly pay some bills, let's say you're getting $10, you know, a month, you're only getting 150 because that's a monthly payout.
Yeah.
Because I currently have 15.
Sure.
And then obviously 100 goes to 1,500, 1,000 goes to 15,000, 10,000 goes to 150. And these are just
Yeah.
examples. Now, if you're looking at the yearly payout, let's say I don't do anything with that money, I'm not pulling it out and I let
Right.
it grow, your yearly numbers would look similar to what you see below.
Right.
So 1,800, 18,000, 180, and 1.8 million.
Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, those are doable numbers. They really are. But you do have to build a substantial profile for that now.
Well, it's
And
buying a lot of stock.
it is buying a lot of stock. Now, the good key to that is, let's say you get to that point where you need money, you can always sell that stock.
Right.
Now,
So it's better to buy stock that pays dividends.
I think so, yes.
Because even if the value goes up and down, you're still getting dividends.
You're still getting a return on investment. And to be honest, if it does go down a little bit and you buy dividends during that time frame, you're buying more stock that's now going to help your cost basis.
So pick companies that are going to be around for a while.
You want to pick companies that are going to be around.
A good growth rate and good
track record.
And that don't seem to be mismanaged and
sure.
all that stuff. So sure, that kind of makes a lot of sense.
Now you figure if it's over 50, 60, 70-year time span, a lot can happen in that time frame. And you do take that risk. You do.
Over the course of 10, 20 years, somebody could amass a stock purchase of
sure,
$100,000.
There are people that I follow online that probably get 10, 20 grand a month, but they put some serious dollars in it. And I obviously had money laying around.
Right.
You're not talking about, building this on top of everything else you have going on in your life. But if you set yourself up right to where you have the money to do so, I would rather put it in somewhere that I have
plus diversify.
Don't
put all your eggs in one basket. You're in 10 different companies paying you.
Yeah. So if one's down a couple months, it doesn't hurt you.
Right.
It's just, okay. I look at my profile every day, and when it goes red, I don't freak out. I just go, okay, let me see what's going on, and I just move on.
The last time the market crashed, what was the hit like?
Well, luckily I didn't have a ton in there at the time.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean,
the last crash was what, 2008?
I think it was 2008. I mean, I had some stocks back then, but I didn't do anything with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I owned AT&T stock, and it's all doing great today.
Sure.
So I mean, like I say, strong companies weather that stuff.
Yeah, and if you fire sale your stuff, then that's it. You take the hit and you're out.
Yeah, I mean, the worst case scenario, let's say if you're doing it because you're freaking out, you probably shouldn't be investing, to be honest. But if you did it because you really needed it, worst thing is you're gonna write it off on your taxes. Is what's gonna happen. You're gonna write it off as a loss.
It's a loss,
and it's a loss.
That means pay less taxes that year. You took the hit, took the loss.
Sure.
And
I mean, I don't recommend doing that if you can avoid it. It's just that our circumstances come up in life.
Right.
I've sold stocks before at the time because I needed money. They were in profit though, because I won't sell them if they're in loss unless unless I'm going to lose everything in my life. Well, I won't sell it. But I had a couple that I did sell because I had some bills coming up, and at the time I was a little short. I've had some times where that happened.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I've corrected all that, and I'm to the point now where that usually is never an issue for me. Can't say it won't happen, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a good solid strategy. If you're looking for, especially if you can get people to do this when they're in their 20s.
Yeah,
I'm trying with my kids. I really am.
Just peel off.
God, that's $5. If you have if you can put $5 in a jar and you can not miss it, you should be able to do something with it.
And my parents and everyone's always said, put a percentage of your income away.
Yeah.
But they were saying, put it in a bank.
Yeah.
Save it. Save it. And
that was the old school method.
That was the old school method. Nowadays, it's like put it into something that's actually going to grow.
Yeah.
And if it's stocks, then it's stocks. But don't put it all on one. Don't put it all on one horse.
No. Definitely not.
you work them, you work the field and not,
You want to go across industries if you can.
yeah.
You really don't want to be all in healthcare. You don't want to be all in,
Well, think of the cruise
financial anything.
industry
Yeah,
last year,
sure.
beginning of last year,
Yeah, you would have
when
been
the
eating crow.
pandemic hit, and you had all your money tied
Yeah,
up in the cruise business.
yeah,
That would have been a really bad thing.
yeah.
You
Because you
know,
wouldn't have been earning anything.
I mean, and it's coming back, but
Sure.
still, the money lost,
Yeah.
the bleeding they've been doing, and they're still doing because they're not all back up and running
Well, it
yet.
would have been several losses because if they were paying dividends, it would have been probably stopped, and even the price itself would have gone down. So you really
Even
couldn't sell it.
I'm
That would have been
guessing
a huge
even
loss.
I'm guessing I never watched how Disney fared because look, they were heavy into cruises, heavy into theme parks, heavy into filmmaking,
Yeah.
and everything stopped for a year.
Yeah. They're pretty
So
cash rich, though, I believe. So
yeah,
they
they
were
could,
able to weather,
and
and
they're
they had a
trying and
big infrastructure.
and they're trying to keep staffers,
Sure.
keep people around so
Mhm.
that they don't lose their entire workforce.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they probably had a
So
furlough system as well, though, at some point.
they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known people to be furloughed, but still the idea is stock there now, where Amazon
Yeah,
probably
sure.
went through the roof in the
Yeah.
last year and a half.
Hmm.
Disney probably took the hit,
Sure.
much
Sure.
like a lot of others took the hit. Anybody, that I'll bet you Walmart skyrocketed.
I have Walmart stock, and I won't say that they went through the roof, but they're steady. And Walmart's considered a good recession stock.
Yeah,
Yeah, and like Target's another good one
right.
that are recession stocks. They're companies that are going to be always delivering stuff no matter what's going on. I mean, people always have to eat.
Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
So
And
they're good recession stocks to have, and they do pay dividends monthly or
do they
quarterly.
really?
Sorry, quarterly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, Walmart's not a bad.
it's a good one. I have it, and I am building up Walmart as well. They're not on that list, I don't believe, but
Oh, well,
but I do I do buy Walmart. I do not have Target.
yeah.
I did pick Walmart at the time they get. So yeah, it's definitely something to look forward to, for me in the future, because I
Right.
would like those dividends to take over my daily income, and then everything else I'm doing hopefully
Right.
is going to be bonus.
Right.
Because I hopefully by then I'll have several
Okay.
businesses running, and this pays the bills. The other stuff just takes care of the profitability and all that good stuff. So
Okay. Well, that's it. It's 8:00.
I think we made it to
8:04. I didn't even get to talk about crypto other than the fact that when it comes to
He's happy.
Algorand, I told everybody out there, I told them Algorand did exactly. They were a little late though. They're like a week late, but they did it.
Sometimes
They
late, not better.
they parked up there, and in the last hour, what are they looking like right now? Do you?
I am looking right
Can
now.
you
real
look?
quick before we
We're
go?
gonna go. I want to be happy. I don't want to be sad. So keep it to yourself if it's not as good.
236.
It's still up.
Still up
It's
there.
still up.
It's heading back to the
236. So in the last week, it's more than doubled its value in the last week. So in theory, it was creeping up in August. I said August. Here it is, September, first week in September. It's gone up. We're hoping it's going to keep going.
Heck, it was at 190 just today. So
it didn't hit 190, did it?
Well,
oh no,
$1.90 today.
Earlier
this morning. So
no, that can't be.
I'm looking right at the daily chart.
All right. Well, that's it. So I'm just gonna say I've been screeching since February, or that it was gonna go up in August, and anyone who didn't listen, sucks for you. But
it means that in a nice way.
I know. Everyone wants to see you. When you talk stuff like that, and you think I think I got it inside track, and everybody out there wants you to fail miserably.
Yeah.
They just want you to do it,
so they can tell you I told you so.
It's like, yeah, why didn't you put? But now their response would be, well, why didn't you put all your money into it? If you knew it's such a sure thing. I was like, well, that's not an investment, that's gambling.
Yes.
Putting all your money into something is gambling.
Not a good risk assessment. Period.
Putting a chunk into something that you think is going to go somewhere, and it does. Then it's like, well,
it's like putting all your gold in the bridge and going over an icy bridge.
I did some risk, and it did pay out so far. And I
True.
haven't sold yet. So much like that wasn't that long ago of your Dogecoin kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'll keep bringing that at you because we had
I'm
the
never
same
going to lose that one.
conversation. Do I buy it? Do I sell it? Do I sell it? Do I sell it? Do I keep it? Do I sell it? Do I keep it? Just a few more hours.
One
So
more day, man. That would have been so nice.
yeah. So anyway, that's all we got for tonight. People, stay healthy, stay happy. We enjoy this. If you
Like, follow, and
enjoy it,
share.
like, follow, and share. That's pretty much.
That's the show.
That's pretty much. Yeah. Well, let's just call it a night.
You guys have a good night.
Good night, everyone.